There was once a time when Korea was known as Joseon, the land of the morning calm. Today it's a calm morning. I'm out at the Eunpyeong Hanok Maul. It's a traditional Korean style village, and I'm going to go into a little bit of Korea's history, its past today. So come ride with me. I'm on my way to Eunpyeong Hanok Village, a place where old Korea meets new Korea. In a way, it feels like a time machine. And today, I'd like to go back to the year 1985. In 1985, the US president was Ronald Reagan. USA for Africa had just released We Are the World. And one of the top movies that year, Back to the Future. Now my bicycle isn't a DeLorean. And it certainly doesn't have a flux capacitor. But today, it kind of feels like I've got one. That year marked something big for me. It had been 8 years since a little Korean boy named Park Eun-suk first moved to the US. And in 1985, he returned to Korea for the very first time since. But this time, he came back with a new name, Joseph Park. I flew in on a Korean Airlines flight with my best friend back then, Eugene. Two boys, maybe 10, 11 years old, traveling alone. Of course, we weren't really alone. The flight attendants kept a close eye on us the whole way. Still, it felt like an adventure. When we landed at Gimpo International Airport, Eugene was whisked away by his relatives in no time. And suddenly, I was standing there with people I barely knew, my maternal grandparents and some uncles and aunts I had never met before. Korea today? Well, it's high-tech, trendy, and quite global. But back then, the world didn't know much about it. There was no K-pop, no K-drama. The president was a military strongman named Jeon Do-han. And I remember seeing posters around town telling people to call a hotline if they spotted any North Korean spies. And then there was this one night that really stuck with me. I was staying with one of my aunts in their apartment in Seoul, and all of a sudden, a loud and sudden siren went off. And just like that, every single light in the city had to be turned off. It turned out to be a civil defense drill, preparing for a possible air raid from North Korea. As a kid from suburban America, I was stunned. Yeah, 1985. It was the year I came back to Korea, but not just to visit a country. I was visiting a part of myself I didn't fully understand yet. I've arrived at Eunpyeong Hanok Village. It's quite beautiful, clean, peaceful, and very modern for a traditional Korean village. But back in 1985, Korea didn't look like this.
things weren't quite as polished. I spent about a month that summer in the southern city of Daegu, living with my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins. They had 3 houses right next to each other, tucked inside a narrow alley. Frankly, the alley looked a lot like the one in Squid Game. Tight, concrete, sun-bleached walls, nothing fancy. And it was the middle of summer, so it was really hot and humid. But there was no air conditioning. At night, my 2 younger cousins and I would sleep in the living room. Well, they would sleep stripped down to just their briefs on the wooden floor. I didn't dress down like them, but I definitely understood why they did. And I also remember seeing kids out in the alley during the day, cooling off in big plastic kimchi tubs filled with water, just splashing around. And the food? Well, I love Korean food now, but back then, it didn't sit too well with me. Let's just say that there was one week where my stomach and also, well, my butthole had a pretty rough time. One of my aunts also bought me my first pair of Korean shoes. But they were red and yellow and looked like something Ronald McDonald would wear. But because my Korean was so bad, I couldn't even say I didn't want them. And before I knew it, they were on my feet and we were walking away. After the month was up, I was honestly really happy to be heading back home to New Jersey.
Oh my gosh, it's supposed to be spring. It's almost April, but it's literally hailing right now. There's hail falling from the sky.
You know, it would have been fine if that 1985 trip was just a one-time visit. But little did I know that just 1 year later, it would become my full-time reality. The following year, 1986, my dad got a job as a professor in Daegu. And so, we moved. Our whole family left New Jersey and settled back in Korea. Now, I wasn't ready for that. Life as I knew it got completely turned upside down, and honestly, I've never been the same since. That was 1986. Today, many young Koreans face similar transitions. Kids who were educated overseas now coming back to Korea to find their place. Perhaps this is your story as well. I'll be sharing more stories about that transition, both the heartbreak and the growth in future videos, and also in my upcoming book, Who I Am, a memoir of an American Korean in search of identity. I share these stories because I want people to know that you're not alone. Whether you're Korean or not, that everyone struggles to find themselves in this world. And also, that there's hope. That we can live, learn, and even laugh about our own experiences. If you want to hear more stories like this, please like and subscribe. And until next time, let's keep riding through life.